Hello everyone. So today we are going to start with the topic Satavahanas. So the time period was from 2nd century BCE to 2nd century CE. Now, what are the sources for the information about the Satavahanas? So sources क्या है इसके? First one is Naneghat cave in Pune, then are the Nashik caves, then are the Puranas, and then are the coins or numismatics. So now these Satavahanas, they were also known as Andhras of Purana. They were known as Andhras of Puran, even though the term Satavahanas is not mentioned in the Purans and the term Andhras is not mentioned in any of the inscriptions. But still, they were known as Andhras of Purana, or they called themselves as Andhras of Purana, though the term Satavahanas is not mentioned in the Puranas. Now, Satvahan का literal meaning क्या है? That is sun god's chariot. So, Sat और वाहन, सूरज का वाहन. So earliest ruler was Simuka. Now another ruler called Satkarni I took the title of Lord of Dakshin Path. So he took the title of Lord of Dakshin Path. But the greatest ruler was Gautami Putra Satkarni, who defeated Shaka ruler Nahapanna, and he restruck the silver coins in his own name, which were earlier issued by Nahapanna. And he took the title of Maharaj, Ek Brahman, and Kshatriya Dap Manmad. So these were the title which he took. Now this means the destroyer of the pride of Kshatriyas. Kshatriya Dap Manmat. Ek Brahman, that means the peerless Brahman, and Maharaja. So these three titles he took. Now this is the flag, as their name suggests, the sun god's chariot. So their flag also contained sun gods and a ruler. Okay. Now this is the expanse of their territory that covered the parts of central India, western India, and some parts of South India. Not the lowermost part, but the upper part. So this was the territory of Satavahanas. Now, how was the society in during the Satavahana period? They claimed themselves to be Brahmins. So therefore, as we have already seen that the king has taken the name of Ek Brahman, while he also took the title of Kshatriya Dap Manmat, that is the destroyer of the pride of Kshatriyas. So they consider themselves to be Brahmins, not Kshatriyas. Now, the fourfold Varna system was present during this time period. Many of the rulers were known by the name of their mother. So the rulers were known by the name of their mother. So this is an important point. For example, Gautami Putra Satkarni and Vashishti Putra Pulumai. So this kind of names were taken where the kings, the rulers were known by the names of their mother. However, the society is considered to be patriarchal in nature as the succession of the kingdom went to the sons. So although जो रूलर्स थे किंग्स थे उनके नाम उनकी मदर के नाम से डिराइव किए जा रहे थे बट जो सोसाइटी थी दैट वाज एक्चुअली पेट्रियार्कल बिकॉज जो सक्सेशन जा रहा था किंगडम को वो सन्स को जा रहा था नॉट टू द डॉटर्स सो इससे हम लोग ये इन्फर कर सकते हैं कि इट वाज अ पेट्रियार्कल सोसाइटी नाउ द वर्शिप ऑफ विष्णु एंड शिवा वाज कॉमन ड्यूरिंग दिस टाइम पीरियड they also started, the Satvahana started the practice of giving tax-free lands to Brahmins and Buddhist monks. So this is an important point. They first of all started this practice of giving tax-free lands to Brahmins and Buddhist monks. And this practice was later on continued even in the next dynasties as well. Now, the Prakrit language was the official language which was written in the Brahmi script, and the use of Sanskrit is very rare. Then coming on towards the economy part. So in the economy, the agriculture was the main economic activity. Rice and cotton cultivation were prominent and mining was also present. Many traders were known by the name Gandhika. Now Gandhika term originally it meant perfume makers, but many of the traders and artisans they called themselves as Gandhika, and the title Gandhi is derived from this word Gandhika. And they issued silver and copper coins during their time period. Okay. Then coming on towards the administration. Now in the administration part, they had two capitals. One was at Amravati, and second was Pratisthana. So these were the two capitals of Satavahanas. The kingdom was divided into districts called Ahar. The officials were known as Mahamatras and Amatyas. The village headman was known as Golmika. And we find many rock cut architecture, monasteries, chaityas, viharas, etc. And they were made during this time period. And examples include the stupas at Amravati and Nagarjun Konda. So these are the examples. And the Amravati School of Art. It emerged during this time period and flourished well during the times of Satavahanas, since we have already studied that Amravati was one of the capitals of Satavahanas. So Amravati School of Art emerged during the Satavahana rule. Then coming on towards the decline of Satavahanas. Now the kingdom declined by early 3rd century CE. So 3rd century स्टार्ट होते होते ये किंगडम का डिक्लाइन शुरू हो गया और ऑलमोस्ट ये किंगडम खत्म हो गई और इसके काफ़ी सारे टुकड़े हो गए. सो इट गॉट डिसइंटीग्रेटेड इनटू मैनी किंगडम्स विच इमर्ज्ड फ्रॉम इट. फॉर एग्जांपल, वन ऑफ देम एंड द मोस्ट पावरफुल वन वाज वाकटक किंगडम. So this was about the decline of Satavahanas and in all generally about the Satavahanas. So there is a small topic called Megalithic period. So as we have already studied that, first there was in proto-history, there was Paleolithic, then there was Mesolithic, and then there was Neolithic age. So the Neolithic phase of South India, it was succeeded by the Megalithic phase, which extended from 1200 to 400 BCE. Now, they are not known for their some unique kind of settlements, but they are known for their special burial practices. They are known for their burial practices. That is, the practices they included for burying the dead bodies of the people. Now, the graves, they were called as megaliths. So, they were called megaliths. Mega means big and lith means stone. So, they were called megalith because they were encircled by big stone pieces. For example, we can see in these pictures. So, there were big stone pieces around this burial site. So, these were the big stones. So, therefore, because of these big rocks, it was known as megaliths. Now, the first use of iron in South India is from this period only, because black and red ware pottery and some iron articles, they have been found buried in these megaliths along with the body of the deceased person. They practiced very primitive agriculture. So the number of agriculture tools, they are very less as compared to the tools for hunting and fighting. So we can say that they predominantly were dependent on hunting and gathering rather than agriculture. Whatever there was evidence of agriculture, that was of very primitive agriculture with some primitive tools. So there was no advanced agriculture practiced at that time. And there are few evidences of rice and ragi cultivation. Now these megaliths, they are mainly found in the eastern Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. So mainly in some parts of South India. And one additional point, that the Cholas, Cheras and Pandyas that have been mentioned in the Ashokan inscription, they may have belonged to the last phase of this megalithic age. So this is an estimate or assumption that we are making, that the Chola, Cheras and Pandyas which are mentioned in the Ashokan inscriptions, they may have belonged to the last phase of megalithic age. So these were the megaliths. So these big structures of rocks around the burial site, so they were known as megaliths. So the period during which it was practiced in South India, it is known as megalithic period from 1200 to 400 BC.